Actor Michael Jace pleaded not guilty today to charges he killed his wife. Jace is accused of shooting his wife.
Have you ever seen The Shield? It's a show about the LA Police Department. So Michael, or the character Julian Lowe, messed up his life really bad. He was this really talented guy. He actually started acting because he saw his girlfriend rehearsing for a play and he thought, yeah, I could do that. He was athletic, outgoing, two of the best things that you could be. But then his wife wanted a divorce and he shot her. On Monday, May 19th, April Dennis Lawn was shot dead. The couple lived in Hyde Park, LA. The gunman actually called the police on himself. When police got to the home, they found the man with the couple's two kids. The man was immediately taken into custody. Michael told the police that April was somewhat of an aggressor in the situation. When in court, April's son testified and he said that he saw his father drag April into the hallway, then he heard yelling. He said he didn't see his father shoot his mother, but I'm pretty sure you know a gunshot when you hear it. The crazy thing is that after shooting April, he texted her mother, telling her what he just did. Michael knew that his wife wanted to leave him. He was also a really jealous husband. April was a competitive runner and he didn't like that she was on a co-ed team. It was discovered that on May 19th, Michael texted April telling her that he wasn't home. Michael actually lied about that and he was actually home waiting with a gun. So he knew that April was a runner and he kept that in mind. He knew that shooting her in the legs would just hurt her more than just physically. Prosecutors said April showed up at the house and then Michael shot her. He actually said he planned to use the gun on himself. At his murder trial, Michael accepted full responsibility for what he had done to April. His lawyer argued that there was no actual evidence that Michael was planning on doing, which I guess is true. Nobody knows if he planned that or not. Michael argued that it was not a premeditated act. He should be convicted of voluntary manslaughter. It was revealed in court that April's body was found in the hallway of the home, but the kids were unharmed. He was actually out of work for a while and he said that he was stressed and that everything got taken. I'm pretty sure that's still not a reason to commit an entire murder. April was a nice person. She was a track and field athlete. She was liked and well known as a popular financial aid counselor. She ran, she helped people, and cared for her kids. Michael Jace is best known for his roles in The Shield, Planet of the Apes, and Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump being his first major role. In 1995, Michael married his first wife and they had a son. The couple then divorced in 1997 after 2 years of marriage. The reason for his first divorce was due to domestic violence. 6 years later, he met April. 10 years later, he shot her. In court, Michael did apologize to the family, but that was just a whole bunch of shit to the family. And that is such a bullshit apology considering what he did in his past. He was divorced the first time because of domestic violence. Who knows how that would have ended if they never got divorced. And the very last thing he said to April after shooting her was, "If you like running, then run to heaven." He blamed the whole thing on his temper. How do you have a temper that bad? And it's crazy because there was no clear indication that he was capable of committing such acts. Even the neighbors said that they never suspected anything from this man. Imagine living right next to a killer. That has to be a really scary thing. The couple was known for being happy and kind. Michael said he wanted a woman devoted to God, but I don't know what else he could have wanted from a financial aid counselor. Like, what could she possibly have been doing that you disapprove of? Michael didn't only believe that his wife wanted a divorce, he also believed she was having an affair. He spent her last day trying to figure out who this other man was. He said his wife was also at fault though, trying to put some of the blame on her. He said the night that she was shot, he showed up at the house and started cussing and shouting at him. She allegedly lunged at him, but really nobody knows the real story of what actually happened except for Michael and April. I would say the kids know something. They might, or maybe they were just scared in their room the whole time. And you can't even really trust what Michael said. He can easily lie. The jury was actually wondering if he was this calculated killer. Michael stated that he was just mad. I don't think he's exactly calculated, but if he can't control his temper and he's gonna shoot everybody that he gets mad at, then he should definitely be locked up until he learns to control it. You can tell that Michael kind of lost his mind. He commits murder but then calls the police on himself. Tells the victim's parents, was apparently cooperative with the police, and even apologizes to the victim's family. I'm saying he's acting like the good guy and the bad guy at the same time. If those aren't the actions of a crazy man, then Michael knew his life was falling apart, and he just made it worse. In 2011, he filed for bankruptcy. From there, him and April would just have constant arguments about their relationship and finances. Not only that, but he clearly also had domestic violence issues. A prosecutor stated that April was actually having an affair, and that statement was made a while after April was shot. But there is no actual proof that she was having an affair. The only real proof is that Michael read text messages on April's phone, and that gave him the idea. Lawyers argued that the alleged affair sent him into a murderous rage, and that he was blinded by anger. And because of this, he deserves a lesser sentence. Nothing really says that the affair was 100% real. Maybe it was, but that doesn't even matter. The point is that nothing should ever get that out of control. You should always stop yourself before you do something that will get you into a lot of trouble. And to have this man act like his life, April Jace is serving 40 to life. A jury subsequently convicted him of second-degree murder on May 31st, 2016. Due to him being obsessed with his wife in the wrong murderous way, 53-year-old Michael will never see his kids ever again. He was convicted of second-degree murder. April had 3 kids, one of them not being Michael's. April would be 47 if she survived. The judge refused to reduce his sentence. I think that's fair. His choices impacted a lot of people, some being the kids they had together and the kids they had with previous partners. The 2 kids they had together now live with her side of the family. April Jace's autopsy report remains on a security hold and cannot be publicly released, according to the coroner's official. But April was shot a total of 3 times. Once in the back and twice in the legs. Michael pleaded not guilty. Michael was described as a scary man by his ex-wife, which is even worse for his case. Michael's ex-wife, a woman named Jennifer Bitterman. Jennifer said Michael provided a stable home for her son, but he was an abusive father and an abusive husband. In front of one of her friends, he would choke and slam her into a wall. That same friend brings that up during his murder trial as proof of his domestic violence history. She saw the first episode of physical abuse. He also threatened to kill her while he fought custody for their son. Jennifer was awarded primary custody. Jennifer stated that although Michael provided a stable home, he was a bad father. Michael would scream at her in front of their son and spank him when he cried. His son was scared of him. Michael wanted to seem intimidating in front of his son. This child got older, and every single time that he would have to go spend time with Michael, he would not want to go. He didn't feel safe with his own father. Michael Jace had no arrest record. He simply had a bad decline in his finance, and his life would just continue to decay. But it's clear that he just wanted control over April. It's scary that someone can be really good at hiding their true colors.